was once molested by a cockroach. Now you've got to listen to this episode. I know, I clickbaited you. Raise your hands if you've been personally victimized by Regina George, or in my case, a roach. Now, if you don't know this movie reference, then shame on you. Nah, just kidding. So one of my friends told us that she hasn't watched it. So we had a girls' night recently and we literally forced her to watch it. So you're going to have to watch Mean Girls if you don't know this reference. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Hassa Slayman and you're listening to Confessions of a Doctorholic. I've been molested by a cockroach and some of you may be laughing right now, but I swear it's a serious story. This happened to me while I was in undergrad. I had a super long day. This was second semester of second year of biomedical science. And it was super intense. I had biochem metabolism, which is basically the pathways in biochemistry, like how glucose is made, the electron transport chain, etc., etc., etc. I had medical microbiology, which meant I had to learn all the different diseases and conditions caused by microbes. I had genetics and I had physiology. And it was like a little bit intense. Like I remember like all the systems of the body were spread out over an entire year. I had a full day of lectures. I had a practical. So I was done by about 5 p.m. And then after that, I was like, okay, I need to study and I needed to do some assignments. So I did all of that. And by the time I was done, it was 11 p.m. at night. So I rock up back at my room and I just wanted to have a hot shower and go to bed. I was like super keen. That hot shower, I was like super keen for this hot shower. So me being excited, I like stripped off, I jumped in. And I'm enjoying my shower. I was probably singing along. And I see something fluttering out of the corner of my eye. I thought I was imagining something. I was like, okay, I've had a long day. Like clearly my eyes are not happy with me. And then I see something flutter again and I'm like, okay, this is really weird. So I turn around and mind you, at uni back in the day, I was living with 5 other girls in a house called the Wookiees. So it was like this little cute house. We shared a toilet and we shared the kitchen. I had my own room. And the shower was super tiny. So I see, I kid you not, the biggest cockroach I've seen in my life. So my hands are pretty small, but I would say, I'm like trying to measure it with a ruler right now. So I would say it's about like 9 centimeters long. Like I'm just taking the distance between my wrist to my index finger, like the tip of my index finger. This thing is about 9 centimeters long. And like literally at that moment, I'm naked. I can't pull the curtain because literally it's like walking on the rail. So much suspense, like it's sort of, I guess it's doing like a sexy dance or whatever. And literally the whole time I'm thinking I am naked. If it touches me, it's like I'm getting raped by a cockroach. And I'm not trying to make a joke out of it, but I was terrified. I was praying in there. I was just like, oh my God. And it was like walking towards me as well. I was just like, please, 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 God, let it walk the other direction. And I am naked, so I'm just, there's no surface between me and the cockroach. Not that if I were wearing clothes, it would make a huge difference, but like when you're not wearing clothes, it's even grosser. Like if it touches me, like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. And I stopped the water from running. I don't know why. I just felt like maybe like the humidity. I don't know if I was freaked out. Or maybe it was like so that I could hear if it decided to fly away. I was just mortified. Then suddenly my prayer was accepted and the cockroach started walking on the rail, on the curtain rail, but a little bit away from me. And mind you, the shower, I didn't describe it, but this shower was super tiny. It was a little box. I can't even describe it to you, to be honest, because it's probably like 1 meter square. Like it is so tiny. So I run out butt naked. I know that I have 5 other housemates that I was living with, but I mean, at that point in time, it was either dealing with the cockroach or my housemates. And honestly, being naked in front of my housemates sounded heaps better than being with that cockroach. So I walk out. I didn't even grab my clothes. Like So the shower had this little, it's kind of like those showers at the gym where there's like this little spot outside the shower where you like hang your clothes. I just left my clothes in there. I was so terrified. I was just like, no, there's like no way I'm going back in there. And then I went downstairs to our neighbor's house because all of my housemates were asleep. And she brought her boyfriend upstairs and he killed the cockroach. He thought it was hilarious. He got his thongs and he just like whacked it. And the cockroach was flying. And he was like, oh, you know, it probably went through the exhaust. How was I supposed to know that? I've been afraid of showers ever since. I mean, at least showers in Australia with an exhaust, but still, I've been afraid ever since. And it's not like I could stop showering. You know, if I could, maybe that would have been a possibility. It might have been something that I would have tried to do. But in this case, there was absolutely nothing that I could do about it. Okay, now the reason why I told you guys this story is because apparently there's this nasty thing called cockroach milk. I had no idea this existed. This is insane. It's a superfood. It is apparently 4 times more nutritious than cow's milk, and it's considered a complete food because it has carbs, proteins, fats, and minerals, iron, zinc, calcium. So it's like the full package. And they reckon it might be good for feeding a growing population because, you know, like there's some people that are starving around the world. And it tastes the same as cow's milk. So it's a specific type of cockroach. It doesn't actually produce milk. It produces protein crystals, basically. And it's this type, it's called the Pacific roach or Diploptera punctate. And it's the only type that gives birth to live young. So it pumps these protein crystals to feed its kids. And this has 3 times the amount of energy that's found in normal milk. So what they did in the lab was they literally cut open a cockroach, and that's like enough to give me trauma, to be honest. Like, can you imagine getting a scalpel and like using it on a roach? I don't know, like how would you even, would you kill the roach? Would you stun it? I don't even want to know. And they found this like shimmery thing, and those were apparently the protein crystals. They have tried to use yeast to make it because it's really hard to extract this protein from a cockroach's guts. Apparently 1,000 roaches makes 100 grams. So it's meant to be like expensive. And at the moment, because it's a little bit hard to produce, they are thinking of using it for people who restricted their intake for medical reasons. So guys, I guess we still have a chance to protect ourselves from cockroach milk. Oh, and for those of you who are a little bit more ballsy and actually want to try it, because I mean, for me personally, even if you pay me, I'm not going to get cockroach milk. So for those of you who are ballsy and want to try it, there's a South African company. It's called the Gourmet Grub. As if grubs can be gourmet. But yeah, so it's called the Gourmet Grub, and they farm these roaches and they call it ento milk. So yeah, guys, if you've tried it, let me know how it goes. Does it really taste like milk? And is it like skim milk, low-fat milk, or full-fat milk? Let me know. I'm definitely not going to try it. I'm putting my foot down. There are many things that I will try in life. There are many things that are on my bucket list, but rest assured, this is not one of them.